Greetings traveler and welcome to another one of my speedboats. For today our travels bring us to Newcrest and we're building a European inspired apartment complex. So I'm saying European because we don't have a specific style of architecture here. It's a mix of different styles and different countries and cultures. Plus I'm not an expert, I'm not an architect, so I can't really tell you what this is. But if you do, please let me know. I'm always eager to learn about architecture in general. But the inspiration behind this is actually a building that I saw in the city where I live, and that is Latakia, Syria, which is obviously not a European country. But European architecture is very popular in the city, so we have a lot of European-inspired buildings, including the building that I live in. But I was basically walking in the streets of the city, and this very unique apartment just immediately caught my eye the other day. And I'm sorry I didn't take a picture because I was too busy admiring it, so I forgot, and it's literally impossible to find a picture online. But the apartment, the building basically had these Juliet balconies, which I'm going to explain what they are in a bit, but it had these balconets or Juliet balconies that are like adjoining together, like they're shoulder to shoulder, and they kind of give you this sense that they're overlapping, but they're not. And the whole building, each floor of the building has those Juliet balconies, and I can't really explain how unique that looks, but it looked beautiful. So I had to come to The Sims and recreate that as soon as I can. The building that I created doesn't even come close to the actual building. The balconies just didn't turn out the same as much as I wanted them to turn out the same, but they didn't. This is the best that I could get. I used these circular balconies to recreate the Juliet balconies. And speaking of the Juliet balconies, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a fake balcony. And I say fake because there is a window behind it, not a door. So that's why it's not a real balcony. And I think the name Juliet comes from Romeo and Juliet. It's used in the play, so that is where the name comes from. And that is why I named this building the Juliette Triplex. And if you don't know what a triplex is, it's basically 3 separate living units that are either stacked next to each other or on top of one another, like this case here. And on the ground floor we have 2 like retail units. So one of them I turned into a cafe and the other is a clothes shop. I think there is a mod to be able to run a business on your residential lot, but I'm not sure. So if you want to turn this into a retail lot, you can do that and like download the mod to have your sim be able to live here. But I think that this building just needed its own type of lot. Like none of them really work with it because it's an apartment complex, so it would be great if you can have multiple people renting this place, but you can't do that except with the like already fixed apartments that are in San Myshuno and I think Evergreen Harbor. I really wish that there is a lot type that is like an apartment building or something. It would have been great for this lot, but the best way I can think of to play in this lot is to have your family move in here and have one of the floors for themselves and lock the other doors so that they wouldn't go in, and then maybe they can have roommates and have the roommates move into the other apartments. I'm not sure how many roommates your Sims can have, but that's the best way I can think of to have this apartment complex as realistic as possible. And just basically lock your apartment door for the other roommates so that they don't just go inside your Sim's house. I don't know, maybe you guys have a better idea for this, and then just try and get the mod that I was talking about so you can run the businesses, or one of them at least. So I don't know, whatever you want to do with this, you are free to do so. I hope that you're enjoying the music that I chose for you today, even though this isn't really, it isn't specifically a French apartment building per se, but it does have some French elements in it, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to use like this French Parisian music here because I love this music. I love it, and I hope that you're enjoying it too. But let's talk about the build, because at this point I'm pretty much done with the exterior and still haven't said anything about the build itself. I'm using a lot of Felixandre CC today. For the exterior, I think I used the London set and some Gothic Revival items, and also the Schwerin Castle set. I don't remember if I used anything else, but as usual, gonna link everything on my Patreon. And I promise I'm going to be more persistent and quick with posting my tray files and CC links on my Patreon from now on. I was basically doing this really dumb thing that takes forever to be able to do that, but my friend Monica from My Sims Finny, you definitely know her channel, I'm pretty sure of that, she's awesome. She pointed me to this software that basically makes things easier. It makes it easier to have my tray files and CC links for you. So thank you, Monica. I am so grateful. You literally saved my life. And I'm sorry about pronouncing your name like that. I personally get kind of upset when someone pronounces my name wrong, so I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you. So here's the back area of the building, and there's just like a seating area here and a barbecue area in case they want to cook outdoors. And I think it's also suitable for like throwing a party or something, like having a party for everyone in the building. I think this place here would be great. I used that grass from base game that is animated, and the same flowers from my Phoenix Harbor build. In case you haven't seen that, you should totally see it. I absolutely love that build. I just love reusing ideas that I enjoyed in the past and think look good. But other than that, I'm always trying to do something new with my builds so they don't get too repetitive and boring, I guess. And you know, it also makes it more enjoyable for me as well as I'm building. It's always good to try new things. So for the outside, we have so many plants, and I also filled the balconets with plants, which I think looks very good, but you can tone down the plants if you think they're like taking away from the front of the build, taking away from the focus on the actual building. And now we're moving on to the café, which is the little place on the left of the building. I'm using Pierisim for the first time today, and I love his sets so much. For the cafe, I am using some of the cold brew set items and Harry's spoons set. Oh, look at me! I'm actually remembering the name of the CC sets that I'm using, so yay! I'm so proud of myself because I'm usually always forgetting the name of the CC sets, and it kind of bothers me. So I'm proud of myself today. I remembered a lot of the names, so I'm hoping to not jinx myself and to remember the names from now on. So the cafe is kind of small, but I don't know. It's not really designed to have a lot of people in it. It's like basically just for the the building residents and the guests that they're having. I'm thinking maybe this apartment complex isn't exactly on a busy street. So yeah. Now we're in the clothes shop, and I love this. I just love that green color, and this floor is actually from the game, and it's very beautiful. I really love the black diamonds in it. They look very cute, and they really go well with these paneled walls. And we have my sim self standing there. I used her as my playtesting dummy. And it was kind of weird, like having a replica of yourself in the game and ordering them around to do things and like basically torturing them, because I did feel bad for her. Her needs were going low. She was hungry and lonely, but I did fix that with cheats. So I'm sorry, Bella the Sim. By the way, that's how my name is pronounced, Bella. But yeah, anyway. We are now on the first floor, or the second floor for some of you. And each of these apartments is actually unique and has like a different style, but generally speaking, they are all traditional and historical. I think except for the last apartment, it has some modern things in it. Each of the apartments actually has a different color as well. So for here, like the main color is this burgundy or maroon color. And I'm gonna talk about the other apartments later. But for this one here, I used this like rundown floor from, I think it's either City Living or Strangerville. It could also be from Get to Work, I don't really remember. But I normally would not, for the life of me, think about using this floor. But I don't know, in this building it just sort of made sense because, you know, it's a very old building. And I don't know, it also looks good with these fresco walls from Felixandre. I'm not sure if it's from Felixandre or one of his collaborations with Harrie, but yeah, they really matched the floors. I don't know, do you think that they look good? Because it's definitely weird to use like these broken floors in such a fancy house. But I don't know, I really like this. I'm actually thinking that this apartment is like for very important people, like maybe celebrities or businessmen or even politicians. Like each famous person is living with his family in one of the apartments. And I don't know why the Cecil Hotel came to mind as I was thinking that. I don't know if you know that hotel, like it's pretty infamous. But back in the day, it was very popular, like a lot of VIP people stayed in it. And it was very important, like upper class place. But a lot of bad things happened there, including a mysterious death that could be a murder. Like there was this body of this girl that was found in the water tank of the hotel, and people were actually drinking from that. But this is not a murder podcast, so I'm not going to talk about that, but it's a pretty interesting story. Like if you're interested in true crime and such, I totally recommend it. Just look up murder in the Cecil Hotel and you're gonna find it. But yeah, so maybe a lot of celebrities live here with their families, minus the murders and deaths and bad things, of course. Yeah, this here is the master bedroom. I think this is the country set from Harrie. That's basically what I'm using in this house, I think, in this apartment. I recognize most of the items from that pack here, and I actually use that pack a lot throughout the building. I just recently got it. I just discovered that I didn't download everything free from Harrie and Felixandre, from Harrie actually, specifically. So I went back and downloaded everything. I'm hoping that right now I'm not missing anything from them because I really love their CC, and I was both happy and sad when I found out that I'm missing some of Harrie's items because, now I have more options. So now we're on the second floor, and for this apartment we have this baby blue color for most of it. And we also have these dirty floors here. These are also, I don't remember, but they're either from Get to Work or Strangerville or City Living. You know, one of those packs with like rundown floors and walls and such. And I couldn't decide which apartment is my favorite. I probably like this one more than the previous one, but I think my favorite is the last one. So I'm hoping you're still gonna hang on and stick around until we reach there. Because this is a very long video. I think it came down to 32 minutes. Wow, 32 minutes and 49 seconds. So I know that a lot of people don't have that time to watch a speed build, and you can always skip to the end. But I personally like watching the whole video the whole speed builds, especially if it's like a favorite creator of mine. I just love watching the whole process and listening to them talk about it. But a lot of people don't have the time for that, and it's totally okay. You don't have to watch the whole video. But I don't know, I always learn something new as I'm watching a speed build, and I always get new ideas and a lot of inspiration as I'm watching the process, because seeing the tour alone doesn't give you that, in my opinion, of course. So yeah, I hope like you're having a cup of coffee or something to eat or drink as you're watching this, because I personally have my coffee here to get me through this voiceover. But I think I'm starting to enjoy these, which is very strange for me to say, because if you told me that I was going to like doing voiceover 2 months ago, or maybe even 1 month ago, I would have told you to get the fuck out of here and not believe it, because oh god, I found this so stressful before. But yeah, I am really enjoying these right now. Just sitting here and chilling with you guys and chatting, and you know, it's very fun, more fun than I ever expected it to be, because I'm such an introvert and I'm not much of a talker, so it turns out maybe I am. I don't know. But anyway, this is the master bedroom of the second apartment, and these are mostly from the Schwerin set, and yeah, most of them are from the Schwerin set. I just love that bed canopy, it's so beautiful, and we have those circular sofas in the middle, which I think is very cute. This whole apartment just has a very royal aesthetic going on, which I absolutely love. And this here is the kids' or teenagers' bedrooms. I didn't really decide who the families are that are living in these apartments, but the family here like probably has 2 kids, and the one on the first floor had 1 child. Now we are on the final floor, and this is definitely my favorite apartment. The theme here is just like black, white, and grays. But I love that color combination. Like just having black, white, and gray in your house is very beautiful, I think. And we are in the kitchen. My phone is actually lagging a lot right now. By the way, I use my phone for editing and voiceovers and practically everything, so I'm not sure how this sounds to you right now. I'm hoping that it's fine. But I basically can't see what's going on the screen right now, so oh god, I don't know what to say because I can't see the video. I'm gonna try. I don't know if we're still in the kitchen, but there is this storage utility. Wait, pantry. There is a pantry behind the kitchen, which is very cute, and I don't usually do that with my builds, so I like that idea. The family that lives here doesn't have children because I made just 1 bedroom, which is gorgeous. You're gonna see that. But yeah, they don't have any children. And here is the living room, I think. The living room is one of my favorite rooms here. I just love like the mix of modern and traditional furniture here. And I just tried to think out of the box for this and be more creative and experimental. Like for example, I usually place the dining table in the middle of the room, but I decided to put it against the wall and, you know, put a lot of items and decor on it. And I really like this detail here, but notice how the paneling is split into two colors. So I tried to align that split with the line in two of the paintings. Like two of the paintings have a line going through them, and the painting itself is also split into two parts. So I really like that detail, and yeah, here's a pat on my shoulder for that. My phone is actually doing better right now, so that's good. Here is the office, the home office, and I'm using that bookcase by Strange Storyteller Sim. I really like those because I usually struggle to have a bookcase that goes all the way to the ceiling, but they have bookcases for all three wall heights, which is pretty cool because I usually just grab a normal bookcase and stack the same bookcase on top of it, which doesn't always work. But here is the bedroom, and this one is probably my favorite room of all the apartments. It's just very, very fancy and historical looking. I just love it. And it even has a walk-in closet, and I'm going to place the curtain rods here to make like these hanging clothes racks. I think I'm going to say goodbye here because my phone is going crazy. This is so frustrating, and I'm very sorry about this. I don't know why it's doing this. But lesson learned, when a video is too long, just split it into two different projects. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the video. We're almost at the end. I'm just going to finish this room and put some plants on the balconies of the apartments. And that's pretty much it. I am very excited about my next speed build. I'm gonna keep you updated on when it's going to be published. Just keep an eye on my community posts. And if you want to download any of my tree files, just check out my Patreon. Thank you for watching, you guys. I am going to see you in my next video. Bye!